Hi all, welcome next video of deficiency here. Okay, so in the last video we discussed about data tables, like how we can create a attractive data tables using a jQuery and MVC. So this is a like continuous video for that. In that video, like in the previous video, we were only able to create the video and we can see the data on the table. We can like extract the data. We can do the pagination and we can also do the sorting and searching. Okay, so in this video we will trying to extend the functionality of a data table using some extra methods and extra extra you can see plugins to like increase the functionality of the data tables. Okay, so we will try to perform a crude operation, like we will be trying to create the new record. We will trying to update the record in a existing in the same table. We will trying to save the data. We will trying to call the service using the like click like edit and update, and we will trying to call establish a call between view to controller to view for updating the data. Okay, so in this video, we will trying to understand how we can communicate the data between data table and services, and in between like controller and view. Okay, so we will be trying to see in this video like what is the data table and how we can like get the data for the data table using a AJAX call. How we can hold the data in a global array. Okay, so basically, a global array is a kind of, you can say, a list which is holding the data for the data table. Even though we are loading the application multiple time, we are not losing the data. Okay, and how we can like create a new record, we can update the record, we can delete the record. Okay, using a jQuery and MVC, and creating some more responsive function for the data table, and we will see the data flow between model view and controller. Okay, so the major part here is ajax call, like we will see in the next, like how we can do the ajax call from jQuery to the service, and how we can read the data from service to the jQuery, and how we can send the data from jQuery to a view. Okay, so that's going to be essential, so that we will be learning in this video. Okay, so in the last video, I already have explained what is data table and how we can create it. Okay, so if you are coming first time in this video, so you can go on my previous video and see that how I'm creating the data table, how I'm filling all this data into the data table. Okay, okay, so we will be reading this data from the data, like from the services or from the database. And so earlier, like you can see this table we had created, and we already have that table open, so I can show you. This is our service which is getting called. Okay, so this is our table. Okay, you can see here like we had created this table in a last video. So you can see like we can export the data in multiple formats. We can also see the columns, and we can extend the columns, we can remove the column. Okay, so we can like add a column visibility. We have a pagination, so we can like go into any page of data. We can see the entries and total number of records. We can next the pagination. We can sort the data here. We can do the filtering, like if we want to search it, control V, we can put the 47, so only 47 is coming. Okay, so this kind of functionality we achieved in the last video. So further we will be understanding what else we can add in this particular concept. Okay, so this is the table for which we are discussing. Okay, so here you can see like the all these features we already have achieved in the last video. So you can see here what we can do, like we can copy the table data. Like if we have a thousands of records and we are seeing in the table, so we do not need to select and paste into the Excel and then copy. We can directly click on the copy button and we can copy the data in a clipboard. We can export the data in Excel format. We can export the data in PDF format. Like we don't need to use any extra plugin or tool to like export this data. We can directly click on this export button, Excel and PDF, and we would be able to export this data. Column visibility, we have, like we can, if we wanted to remove the column, like we don't want a salary in our export data, so we can directly unselect the salary column and it will not be getting display that data into the export file like PDF in Excel. So that we can do using this particular column visibility feature. We have a search component, so like here in search text box we can put the, like if we have a thousands of record and we wanted to search that particular key or something inside the record, so we don't need to worry about, we directly put that particular key here in search text box, and that record will get displayed on the screen. Okay, so all this functionality we already achieved, and we also have a like pagination, total number of counts in the table. So this table is actually very much essential in terms of like data table. If we are talking, like we are getting all the functionality and feature we were expecting from a single table. So all the features are here already, like total counts and pagination, you can see that. So that also is working properly. And the more extended feature what we are extra going to add in this table, so what we are going to do next in this video. So like we had introduced one edit button and we introduced one delete user button. Okay, so that user can just click on this edit button. User can edit the field, like if user wants to update the name, if user wants to update the age, user wants to update the mobile, so he can just click on the edit button and he would be able to update the records here, and that the same record will get inserted into the database. And we also want to provide the functionality of delete, like user can click on this delete button in a data table, and once user like click in this delete button, that particular record or user will get deleted from the table. Okay, so that two functional essential functionality we are going to add this in this data table. Okay, so you can see here, see like if you just click on the edit button, the edit button I saw you earlier, so this type of field will get appear, like all the column field will appear as editable. Okay, so user can edit the field, user can update the data, and then user can click on the save button and the data gets saved into the table. Okay, like if user wants to change the name here, if user wants to change the mobile number here, user wants to change the email ID here, so he just needs to click update the data in this text box, and after clicking on the save button, this save edited data button, the record will get saved. Okay, and the same record gets updated into the database. Okay. Mm, this is the user ID, so I made this disabled because the user ID is unique key. So I restricted a user to update this user ID so that we can uniquely identify the record to update the record against the user. Okay, so this functionality we also achieved, and we will be discussing further in the next coming video. Okay, so this what method we have written to achieve this functionality. So document.ready, obviously we did this we have written this method in jQuery to, like this method gets called when the first time we load the application page. Okay, like if we are working on the get user details, so when the first time get user details page will get loaded, so this method will get called. Okay, get employee details. We added this method to get the data, employee data from the service. Like we will be calling the service API using this get employee details method, and the service will call the database. Okay, like you already have seen, like we have a separate service and we have a separate application. Okay, so we will be calling that particular service, and that service will call the database. So like if you guys like first time appearing this video, so definitely you would be having a doubt like how we create the service, how we create the application. So that we already have discussed in earlier videos. Like we have a separate session for you can say separate tutorial for web API, .NET Core Web API. So inside that you can like see that how we can create the service web API service using a .NET Core. Okay, so you can like create the service and you can call that service inside the MVC application. Okay, so this that we will be doing in this video. So we will be using a Ajax call in jQuery for like establishing service call. Bind employee details. So like whenever we call the service and we will get the data, so bind employee detail will bind that data into the data table. Create array list. So create array list is basically creating a array which will be globally available. So we will create a global variable and that will hold the data for the application. Okay, so that we can effectively perform edit, update and delete. Okay, and once we finalize the data, we can submit that data to the database. Okay, edit pv item method will be using for like editing the data, like we whatever the data we have edited, and when we will be clicking on the save button, this method will get called. Okay, delete item, like when we will clicking on the delete button, so this method will get called and will delete or replace that particular record from the list or table. Okay, cancel means if don't want to edit, we have clicked on the edit button, and if we don't want to further edit, so we can cancel that particular operation. We have a save item, like if we have edited something and we wanted to finalize that and save that particular data, so we will click on the save item, and like after clicking on the save item, data will saved into the global array. Okay, so the thing you need to keep in mind here, like we will not be directly calling the service, or we will not be directly calling to the controller while like clicking on the save button. We will be holding the data into the global array. Okay, so that like once we finalize that particular operation, then we can only like send the data to the database for updation. So it will provide us effectiveness, like if we are holding the data on a good global array, so it is available on the like UI side, so we can frequently update, delete, and whatever the operation we want, we can perform that. And ultimately we are not like giving the multiple service calls. So we are giving only one service call which will get called on clicking on the submit button or something. Okay, so that will provide us the improved functionality, like we will be not frequently making the service calls. Okay, so that all we are going to discuss in this video. So before going ahead, I just wanted to show you what we already have done and what we are going to do next. So this thing we already have done, and as I told you earlier, like I maintain two different application together. I have one text application and one is main application. So firstly I perform all the activity and all the operation and achieve functionality in my text application, and then further I show you the functionality in the main application, like to make the implementation in front of you. Okay, so you can see that the data is already there, it is working. We can do the sorting, we can export the data. You can see here it can be exported in the Excel. See here the data is exported. Okay, column visibility we already have seen. PDF we can export, we can search, we can do the pagination, we can see the entries. So this thing we already have achieved. So what further we are going to do, we are going to uh, add one more column here. Okay, the way I shown you in the PDF, like we will be creating one more column here, the action column. In that action column, like we'll be doing operation like edit and save, edit and delete, sorry. Okay, so once you usually click on the delete button, so all this field get become editable. Like currently you can see I cannot edit the field. Okay, so all this field become editable, user will update the field, and once he will be clicking on the save button, the data will get saved here. And you can see the changes in upfront, like if you are changing this name, like if you are changing accountant to financial, so once you will be clicking on the save, you would be able to see here the financial. Okay, so that thing we are going to do next. So in my text application I already have completed those changes, so if you want I can show you. So let me run my test application first. This is my main application. Okay, you can see here it's a get user details, and this is the CRMS MVC app. Okay, so yes, okay, so this is my main application, and this is my test application, test MVC app. So I already have achieved the functionality here, so I just wanted to show you before going ahead for the implementation. So guys, I'm not creating here a good looking and high attractive application, because I'm just showing you the functionalities, okay, one by one. So I've just created this application for the like test purpose, so that I can show you how you can achieve the functionality from initial to end. Okay, so you can see this is the like basic application. Whenever you go to um, in a MVC template and you create a new application, the same it will look like. Okay, so I did not even update the framework and backend and all those things. I just have updated the menu's name here, so that like I can implement some functionality here. So you can see here my API service is running, and I have just opened this test MVC application. So let me run it. So if you guys first time coming here, you wanted to see how this API we can develop and how we can achieve this particular, like I'm calling get user details, so how you can do that in your way. So we have a long tutorial for this, so you can see that, and you would definitely getting a lot of learning from there. So if you wanted to see, you can go through that. I just wanted to show you here test application what I have created already for this video. Uh, okay, so this is my MVC. My web API is getting called here. So I'm not currently reading the data from. Okay, so this is the first call here. Here I'm calling this one. Okay, so I'm not currently reading the data from the database right now. The all data is coming from like hard coded data from the from my service. Okay, it's not hard coded in my application. The all the data is hard coded in my service, like I'm successfully giving the service call properly. Here you can see this user controller. Okay, you can see please wait, employee data is loading. Okay, so now the service call has been completed. Now you can see the data. Okay, so you can see here like we have this edit button, we have this delete button. Okay, we have this copy Excel PDF export button. We have common visibility, search and pagination and all this stuff. So if I click on this edit button, you can see all the items are available for the edit. You can see here. Okay, so like if you wanted to update, I disabled this name. This is basically user ID. I did not updated the headers actually. Okay, so this is basically user ID. So I don't want allow. I don't wanted to allow to user to update the user ID, because user ID is a unique key. If user if you front end user someone somehow like update the user ID, it will not be like updating the fields against the user. So that's why I keep it disabled. Okay, so you can see here now this is editable. So this is ss@gmail.com. Okay, so if I update it, Sharma at okay at that gmail. Okay, let me put my original. Okay, so one s at the rate. Okay, let me put this here and let me put Amit here. Okay, let me put sorry here. Let me put okay. Just see this data. Once I'm clicking here, like in save, so all the data will get saved. You can see here, all the data is saved and it is not editable. Okay, so that functionality we basically achieved. And same way, like if you wanted to delete something, like we have a Ankul Sharma here, ss@gmail.com, and the ID is 103. So if you wanted to delete, you just click on this delete, and you can see 103 is deleted. It is not here no more. And with the record total record count also decreased to 12. It was earlier 13. Like if you wanted to see again, so we have a 104 because lal, so we can also delete this one. See 104 is deleted and the record is 11. Okay, so basically we achieved this functionality. So I will be explaining you one by one, like how you can implement the method, how you can create the jQuery methods, how you can create the global array. So let's go to the code and try to understand how you can implement this functionality for your data table. Okay, this is our CRMS app code and this get user details. The country, you can see nothing is here in this file. We will be having a multiple method in this JS file. So we will be continuing from here. Okay, so you can see here nothing is here in this get user details JS file. So I have already shown you this my test application feature extended functionality, what you need to do and how the application will behave after the implementation. Okay, so first thing what we need to do, like these edit and delete fave icon. Okay, so that will require us for to download. So what can we do, just we can go in the Google and we can put that fave icon edit green, and you will see like you will be getting a multiple option here. So whatever is appropriate for your application, you can just go ahead and download. Like if you wanted to any of option, like if you wanted pencil, so you have a pencil option, you can go here and you will get the image. So you can right click and save images. Okay, so once you download it, so all the downloaded will be available here. You can see here I already have downloaded 4 fave icons. One is for cancel, one is for delete, one is for edit, and one is for save. Okay, so I will be including all these fave icons in my application firstly, so that I can implement same for the application. Okay, so where is my application is MVC app. Okay, so currently what we have, let me check what the changes are here. Let me see, the changes are not checked in, so firstly let me check in the changes. Okay, so that we can be sure whatever the changes we made we can see in our application. Okay, let me check in the changes created data table for user details. Okay, so I'm checking the changes. Let me stage all the changes and checking the changes and commit stage in sync. Okay, so these were the like earlier changes which I had created data table. Okay, so changes have been pushed successfully. You can see the 0 here. So let's go ahead. What we are going to do now. I need a content. Okay, there is no image folder, so we will need to create one image folder here. Create new folders, add new folder. Okay, put the name image. Okay, inside this image we need to put the actually what we can do, we can just open in Explorer and we can paste there, and we can like then okay, so all four images are here, so we will add these images here. Add existing item. Okay, so you can go content, inside the content images folder is there, you can select all and you can save it, so you can see all images are available here. Okay, so what we need to do next, you can see the images also after hovering the cursor. Okay, so what you need to do next, we have that icon, so we need to create one more column in our table firstly. Okay, so what the data we have currently, create user, get user details here restaurant. Let's see what the data we are using right now. So right now we are using a hard coded data. Okay, see here. So we have two different ways here. Either we can use hard coded data, or we can use data from service, or we can use the data from global array. Okay, so I will be explaining here using the global array. Like we will be calling the service, but we will not binding the data in a model. Okay, we will be directly calling the service. We will hold the data in a global array, and we will be attaching a table, and in a table object here in a div. Okay, so I will be showing you how you will be doing the same thing. Okay, so let me go to the test application so that I can tell you what the changes we need to do. This one is test MVC. Okay, get user details CSS. This is the same like application. So you can see here what I did. I have just created one div with the name get user details. I put here the URL data ajax URL. That is actually basically if you wanted to do any kind of ajax URL using any ajax call, or using any method in the jQuery, so you would require to have a one URL. Okay, so basically data ajax URL keyword works to create a URL using this method name and controller name. Okay, so we will be getting the value of URL here in ajax data ajax URL attribute. Okay, so let me do it for you first. So we will need to remove all this. We have a reference of this, we have a get user details, we have create new. So this table we need to remove, and the reason is like we are not going to use a hard coded value. We will be calling the service, and we will be loading the data in the global array, and then we will be binding the data to the table with the table. Okay, so let me remove this first so that I can explain you everything one by one. So currently you can see in this CSHTML page we don't have anything. We have just references. All the references are for the data tables that we already have created in the last video. So if you confused, so you can just go ahead again and watch that. So you would be understanding how you can create a data table. Okay. Okay, so this reference we also need to add, and this div we need to add. Okay, so this is the body and this is the style we need to add. So let me put all this. I think this is not required. If we added a CS file, get user details, CS is there. Let me see CSS reference. No, we did not created a CS detail file. That's why I'm putting this in here in line style. Otherwise, what we can do, like we can create one you get user details.css file, and we can give the reference and we can place this styling in that particular file. Okay, so here if you see, this is test application inside that we don't have. Yeah, we did not created it. Okay, so we will be doing that. That is not big an issue because this is not a big page. We only implemented one div here, and all other implementation are going to be in jQuery. Okay, so we placed one div. So what we will be doing, we will be creating a dynamic table and we will be assigning that table into this div. Okay, so that this div would be responsible to display that table. Okay, so now moving to get user details page. So here you can see we have only document ready method. Okay, so let me do one by one. Yes, API testing VC and get user details.js. So document dot we need two variables here. So that I'm going to put first. If we be creating any variable over this jQuery page, so it means that these variables are available throughout the application. Okay, means like whenever we are calling any method and if we wanted to read this variable, so we can read this variable. Okay, so I have created those two variables, user detail list and each editable user item. I will change that one. Okay, so we have only two these things, so let me put those two variables in here. Okay, so user details list and each editable item is only enough, not pp. Okay, so firstly what we need to implement, firstly we need to implement a get employee details. Okay, so you can see here get employee details is basically calling the doing one ajax call and establishing a pulling a data from this ajax url whatever the method we have given there over there. So pulling the data from there, and if the result is coming properly, so it is calling a bind method which is responsible for binding the data with the data table. Okay, and then we are calling the create array which will be pushing the data into the global array. Okay, so this method firstly we are going to implement and we will be test that. Okay, control B. Something missed. Okay, this is missed. Okay, so this has been placed. So you can see here like we are calling this method. Okay, and this method is if we have some input for this particular table, we don't need of any input, but in case like if we wanted to load any data for user, so we can pass a user id or something as an input, and afterwards like whenever we are pushing or establishing a ajax call, so we can place that input in a data attribute as an input parameter. Okay, so whatever the input parameter we are sending, so based upon that, data will get filtered from the database, and then from the service, and we can like read particular that data. Okay, so .js, HTML. Here you can see that we are implementing get all user details, okay, from user details controller. So in a user details controller, let me check. This is not a controller. User details controller. Okay. So in this user details controller, you can see that right now we have only user details, not get all user details. We wanted to see. Okay. Control F, Control B. Okay, this method is not present. So what we did actually, this method is actually fetching a data and returning a view. Okay, means this is a default index method, and we are calling a method from jQuery, so we are expecting a response as a JSON format, so that further we can like do the operations and we can bind the data with the global array. So we don't need a view. So what we will be doing, we will be implementing the same method just with the different name. User details controller. So we will be having here control F, control B. You get a user details. So you can see here like this method was earlier, which was returning a view, but in this method you can see we are not returning a view, we are returning a JSON. Okay, so that we can get the JSON format data, and we can send the same data to the JS. Okay, to perform further operation. So let me copy this and paste there. The user controller JS. We will be keeping the debugger here, and at the end of this, see. Okay, so we will be keeping the debugger here, not here, actually here. Okay, so that we can verify whether the data is bound. So currently we have this service call, so we can also read the data from the database, but I don't have too much data available in the database. So time being, I'm just keeping this and commenting user details. Okay, this is USM assigning written user details. Okay, okay, so we will be like sending this same data instead of calling this particular service. So I'm commenting this for time being and putting null here. Okay, so let's see whether this particular API is calling or not. So how we will be calling this method at the page load, like we will be putting this get employee detail call in a document.ready. Okay, so whenever we are loading the page first time, so document.ready function will get called, and it will automatically place a call for the get user details. Okay, so I'm showing you here in testing VC. So you can see here in a get document.ready function is containing for the details for this particular. Okay, so I'm putting this, and I will be using this after once the table is created and binded all the data with the table. Afterwards we will be implementing this table extension functionality for copy Excel and PDF, okay, that we used in the last video. So we will be using that. I implemented one init function, but I did not use it in this particular video. But later on, definitely we will be getting any more functionality, so we will be using init function also. Okay, currently I did not require for that particular function. So let me copy this one also. Okay, so we can also do one thing. Instead of putting this in document.ready, we can also put this particular in a top menu. Means menu layout. Whenever we are clicking on the get user details, so instead of calling user details function, we will be calling the get all user details. Okay, the current function we just implemented, so we will be calling get all user details. So whatever the data is available here, that will automatically fetched and available in a list for binding with the data table. Okay, so just try once how it is working. Let me run this, whether the control is coming in this particular line or not. API is running, hopefully. Yes, API is running. I did not use the API call right now because the too much data is not available in the database. Okay, so I'm just using a hard coded data, but it will be like calling to the controller and then controller to a service. So you can easily like call the service and get the data from the service, and you can further return that data as a JSON format. So you can see I was telling about this. Instead of calling get user details here, you can see below get user details here. Okay, so we can directly call a get all user details. See, get user details is there. So we can call the get all user details. So in that case, we would not be required to put that function in the document.ready. Okay, we can directly put here, and the function will get called automatically. We will make that change afterwards, but currently like we can check after clicking this. Let's see how it is working. Function after network console, it is loading, and you can see the control is here. Oh, this is the get user details. So firstly we will need to skip this one, and then the document.ready will get call, and we will get the call in get all user details. Okay, now the second call is came here in get all user details. Let me put the control debugger here. Continue. Please wait, employee data is loading. Okay, so we will put this HTML label control. So 13 record is there. Okay, the same records be placed here. All the records are from there. Okay, so now let me put the debugger in JS so that we can check whether the data is coming properly in the JS or not. Process control P, get user details, get user details dot JS. Okay, so this is our JS, and which method we are calling. We are calling okay, so we are calling this method. Okay, and the call has been sent. We need to check here in success, and we need to check here in failure. Call is already sent to get all user details. Okay, so we need to check for the result. API is here. Okay, the data is already here. Let me continue. Okay, so control is here right now. You can see all 13 list of record coming in a JSON format here. Okay, so now what we need to do, we need right now we have this particular result. Okay, so we are getting the data from controller, from service, and now we will be binding this data with the data table using bind employee details method. Okay, so right now we would not be able to do that because we did not implemented this method. So let's continue and implement that method. Okay, so I think we implemented that method as well. Let me see. Okay, so I think mistakenly I had started this particular testing BC application. Okay, so but you understood, right, what we did? Okay, so we implemented get all user details. Now we need to implement bind user details. Okay, so let's implement that bind user details. Then again we will be debug and we will trying to see the results. Okay, get user details. We implemented get employee details. Okay, and now we will need to use this bind employee details. I will be explaining what we did inside this method. So don't worry. Okay, one method we implemented. This is a second method which we will be using. Oh, I already have done in my test application. That's why, so that you cannot face a lot of problem and we would not be wasting a lot of time here for doing the things which we are doing first time. Okay, because in that case we will be doing, we will require to do like multiple time debugging, multiple time uh, troubleshooting, multiple times like arranging the issues and rectifying the issues. So I just trying to remove those things so that we can like reduce the video timeline. Okay, so this is the get employee method which we will be internally calling bind employee details and create array list. So bind employee details is basic. mm, Bind employee details is basically binding the data, whatever the result that we are getting, binding the data with the table. Okay, and create array is binding the data with the global array. Global array is this user detail list. Okay, currently it is blank. So after calling this method, all the data will get bound into the global array. Okay, now what this, after calling this, what this method is doing, let me show you. So once like we will calling get all user details, this div is binding the this HTML, please wait, employee data is loading. Okay, so we will be like empty, we will be like doing empty this particular HTML so that other things should not be available in a page, so that we can bind the data with the with our table. Okay, and this is the like controls we had put in a document.ready function earlier and we placed here right now after just creating the table. Okay, so what we are doing in this method now you can check. So we are getting a result set. Okay, result set of 13 records. So we are sending that result set in this, but for this particular method you can see here the result, and result length is greater than 0, so we are sending the result here. Okay, so once the result is here available. Okay, so what we are doing, we are checking the length again, like whether the length is greater than 0 or not. So if the length is greater than 0, So we are creating a dynamic table here, dynamic HTML table here. Okay, so this is the same table we had displaying in CSS HTML page, like the table ID and the classes all are the same. These are the headers that are hard coded be implemented here, and be dynamically creating columns. Okay, so you can see that user ID column is package ID, first name, last name, mobile, email. So all columns are getting created dynamically, and the last column is for action. You can see a last column is for action. So in at the last we are putting this particular image inside the TD. We are putting this image tag, and what image tag is doing, we are binding the image. You can see the location content images edit underscore green. Okay, and the title, like we are hovering over the image, so we are getting the edit, and inside this, like clicking on this image, we are calling edit pv item. Okay, edit pv item we are calling same way, plus plus, and same way what we are doing here, we are using an image tag, and inside the image tag we are using a delete image, and inside the delete image we are calling a on click, we are calling a delete pv item. So if you are little bit aware about the HTML, you would be definitely understanding this concept very easily. Okay, so basically two images are here, and for both the image, after clicking on first image we are calling edit pv item, and clicking on second we are calling a delete pv item. And inside the method we are passing a user id as an input. You can see in the both case we are passing the user id. So basically user id is an input for this. Okay, so that will be passing. So firstly we will trying to load this particular table, then we will be understanding edit method and delete method. Okay, so you can see user id. So let me update the name here. This is user id, user id. Okay, and th first, and second is th is package id. So let me update this package id. Third is first name, first first name, and the fourth one is last name, last last name, then mobile. These are basically a header, so you can put as per your choice, but the whatever the actual name is, name of a column, I'm putting that mobile. Okay, after mobile what we have, email, so we can put email. Okay, and after email we will be having these images in this td tag, and in the images are basically edit and delete, so both are actions, so I'm putting here the action. Okay, okay, so one method we implemented, bind employee details. Same way we are going to implement a create array list. Okay, so let me pick that create array list method from here. So create array list is basically creating a array, okay, for that particular global variable, so that it can be saved in the array and it can be globally available. So this is the create array method. So let me copy it and put here in MVC application. Employee details, bind, and after bind we need to put get user details dot create array. Okay, so whatever the like list of data we are getting here, we are passing same data for bind employee as well as the create array. Okay, so once we are getting the data here in create array, so what we are doing, we are doing a for each loop inside the array for each variable, or you can say that each field we are binding the data. Okay, so like for the user details dot user id, we are binding a user id, package id, and ultimately pushing that record into this list. user detail list. User detail list is basically a global array. You can see user detail list. Okay, so one by one we are pushing the data in particular this array, and then we are pushing that particular array into this particular list, and the list of data finally we are updating. Okay, so let me run it and show you how it is working. I think one application is already open, so it will not allow to open other application. Okay, clicking on this get user details. So you can see firstly the call is coming to get user details, and the second time when the document.ready will get called, so it will be sending to this particular get all user details. So continuing. Okay, second time the call is coming when document.ready is getting loaded, the call is coming to get all user details, and we will be returning the data from here. So let's continue and see what the data is coming. Okay, so I think we would need to remove this comment because this each success status is coming blank, so it will not give us the response. Okay, but if we send the next statement so that I can show you, then I will be the error is there, so we will not be able to pass it. So what we need to actually, I had commented this now, so it will not allowing the response is not coming, so we are not able to load it. Okay, clicking on get user details. Sending using this method continue. So guys, I'm also putting this code in Git. So in case like if you required, you can like ask me in a comment or you can email me. I would definitely send you the published code, so you would be able to like directly make the changes. Okay, instead of like struggling for these things. In control did not come here. I think JS bot failed somewhere. No, no, this. control P, get user details.js, get user details.js. Okay, this is our JS file. Okay, so actually the JS is not yet updated. So what we need to do in case like if you are making the changes locally and the JS is not getting updated automatically, so what you need to do, just open this f12 like this console, inspect window, okay, then right click here and empty cache and hard reload. Continue. Okay, see here for second time it is coming because the JS is updated. So we need to put this to debugger here. Okay, so see the result, see 13 results that is coming, so we can send it further. Create array. You can see please wait, employee data is loading, means our method gets called properly. Okay, so you can see here the result is coming properly. We are getting a 13 records. Firstly we will be calling this point employee details. Okay, so we have point employee details. I'm putting a debugger here, then let me debug and show you how it is working. Okay, so we are getting a data here. Let me function f9. Okay, function f9. So first it will get called the point details. So see here the data is coming. We are checking the length. So function f9. Okay, so we can put directly here console and continue. So see length, the length is 13. Okay, like we are getting the data. So what we can do more, we can see the user ID is coming or not. Just click here where you are getting, and you are not getting, whenever you will reach here you will only understand. Okay, so value, it is for the first user ID. Okay, so user ID is coming, package ID is coming, first name is coming, last name is coming, email ID is coming. Okay, so all is coming properly, and here whenever all the records gets assigned to this particular table, then we will be assigning that HTML attribute into this div, the div we had created in our CS HTML page. Okay, and all these are the like uh, default setting we already have done in last video for data table for export functionality. Okay, so let's continue. This was the first, this is for second user ID. I think this is the for second user ID, this is for third user ID, and this is for fourth user ID. Same way it will be happening for all 13 user ID. Okay, so I'm just continuing so that we can reach to this create array method. Okay, so all the 13 records have been inserted. You can see here the data is available, and what this create array is doing, 13 records is also coming here. So we are updating this create array. Okay, so let me show you. Firstly, in this array nothing. Okay, we are not getting anything in this array. Once we are successfully placing here function f9, you can see the list is updated. Only one line is coming. Okay, this is first time it is coming actually inside the each loop. So every time it will come 13 times and 13 record will get inserted in this list. So you can see one by one all the records are inserting. So same way, like once the record have inserted successfully, all the record would be available in this global array, and anytime we can make the changes in this array and we can update the table. Okay, so let's continue it and let's see here. So you can see like the table is created properly. Okay, so now like we have user ID, we have package ID, first name, last name, mobile, email. Okay, action. So all are getting visible here properly. So what we need to currently be click on this, nothing will happen because we did not implemented the method. See here, I'm clicking and nothing is happening. So what we need to do, we need to implement the functionality, edit functionality for this one, for this edit pencil, and for delete for this particular one. Okay, so that we will be doing further. Okay, so let's continue for edit and delete. So let me stop this firstly. So on clicking on edit button, we are getting edit PV item function we are calling, and clicking on delete button we are calling delete PV item. Okay, so edit PV item function. Firstly, let's take it and I will explain you what we are doing inside this edit. It's a big function. What we are doing, I will explain you. Let me take it this one also. We will explain all both function together. Okay, so let me place the function here. Okay, so what we are doing in this item. So you can see while clicking on edit, this is the edit. Okay, edit image, and this is delete image. So while clicking on this edit, you would be redirecting to this method, edit PV item. Okay, and this item is carrying a user ID. Like you will be redirecting to this method with the user ID, unique user ID. Same way in the delete, in a delete case also you will be redirecting to a delete PV item method with unique user ID. Okay, so once you get the user ID, you will be redirecting here with user ID. So firstly, it is checking is editable. So by default, it is false. Okay, so if it is false, it will not returning here and coming to here below. This is for I implemented this check because at one time I would allow user to edit only one item. So if only one item is on editable mode, so user would not be getting access to edit other item. Okay, so that like if user is editing all the item together and all the saving, clicking on the save button, so it will be creating us a problem and conflicts for the updating the record. Okay, that's why I put a check here so that we can verify whether the any one existing item is editable or not. Okay, so at once you can only edit one item. So you are getting document where I did. Okay, the ID you can see what ID I'm putting here. Edit PV row plus user ID, like edit PV row 1 2 3, this kind of ID will get created so that we can directly identify the exact row of a table. Okay, like if the ID is to edit PV row 2, it means the second row we need to edit. 3, it means we need to edit the third row. Okay, so once we are getting a second, so second tr will get automatically fetched using get element by id. Okay, so we are enclosing all close, that means If we are using tr.coach, that means whatever the items are available in that particular td, all the item will get available for that particular tr. Basically we are getting a td here. Document.getElement by id means we are getting one element, and one element means we are getting a image here. Okay, and for this image, what particular row is responsible, or what particular row is containing this image, that we are getting through the approach set. Okay, so whatever the row we are getting, that would be available here. I will debug and show you what the things are getting in this tr. Okay, and inside that tr, what different tds are available. Like td means if the one row is coming, so what user id is there, what name is there, what email is there, what mobile number is there, so different td for that. So we are getting a td using this particular method get element. Like inside the tr we have multiple tds, so what are the tds there, and inside the tds we are creating one for each loop, so that we can replace each td with one text box. Okay, so we will be placing that td one text box inside the each td with the same value. So what will happen, like inside the text box user can update that particular values of the td. Okay, and once a user have updated and clicking on save, we will read the value of text box. Okay, and we will save that particular text box value into that particular td. Okay, td means in that particular row, and for that particular user, for that particular field. Like if we replaced user id, you can see here user id td, like first column and first row, first column first row. Okay, so if that particular block we are replacing with the text box, so whatever the value user had updated, we will be next time while we are saving, we will be reading that text box value what user had updated, and we will be update that text box value with that particular user record. Like the user, like two user id record is updated, so we will update that user id for the two user id record. Okay, same way for the package id, first name last name we have did. So basically you can see that all these td are basically a text box. I show you this label, and this is the text user text image text box. This is input, you can see here is in text box. Okay, which will be further using the same value for we are getting for the td. And for first one we are keeping it disabled because it's the user id, so I'm not allowing user to update that user id. Okay, user can update other fields but not a user id, because user id is a unique identification for the user. Okay, so in case like user update the user id, we will not be able to update that particular record against that user id. So basically user id be kept as a unique identification, so we are not allowing user to edit the user id. And for other packages user can like same way go and update the, this is also an input text box, so user can update the values. Okay, and further once all these values like place this text box, firstly we are replacing the tds from tds with the text boxes. Okay, and user will be updating the value, and when user is clicking on the save, so on that case we will be reading the values from that text boxes and updating that values into that particular record. Okay, in this td delete pb item, I hope you understood guys. If you having any difficulty, td image, what is how we are getting. So actually inside table, if you will see now, in this table I have assigned a one class for each td. Okay, so like using this class, like this the record we are sending, if that td has this particular class, then we will be understanding like td user id. If td has a class like td user id, means it is updating for user id. Td has a class for td package id, means it is updating for package id. Td has last name, means it is updating for last name. Okay, so based upon that we are replacing that particular td with the text boxes. td has means it is updating for the first name. So we will be replacing text box with the name of, you can see here, T, TD first name, last name, so that we can understand which text box we are assigning for which field, and whenever we are reading, we are understanding what text box value we need to add for the field. Okay, so that basically we are understanding here, we are managing here. So once you will be like getting the doing the implementation and getting the code, you would definitely be understanding very quickly. Okay, and at last, like for TD image, same time what we are doing, once if you just click on the edit, so edit and delete image will get replaced by the like okay, like success, and you can say like save and cancel images. So clicking on the save image, whatever the data user updated in the text box will get saved, and this method will get called save pb item. Okay, and the same way if user cancel, so this cancel pb item will method will get called. So I will also be explaining that method. Before that, like I just wanted to run this and show you. And delete pb item is very much easy. Like if user is clicking on the delete pb delete image, so delete pb item method will get called with that particular user id. Okay, so whatever the user in a global user list array, whatever the data we have, we are filtering out that particular user id, and we are updating that particular global array list with the table. Okay, so like if two number records is like user is trying to delete, so two number record will get removed from the global array, and whenever we are updating that global array with our binding global array with our table, so that two number records will not be appearing. Okay, so this is the concept for delete pv item. So after this, like we have edit pv item, delete pv item. Afterwards we are we will be understanding for save pv item, and next further cancel pb item. Okay, let's run and try to understand. So click on user details. So firstly this will get called, and then this method will get called. We already have bind this, so I did not open. Okay, so data is available here, function f12. Now we will be opening the console so that we can understand what the operation is getting called. Clicking on edit and delete. Delete pv item is there and edit pv item is there. Putting this here and putting this here. Okay, if so I'm clicking in this edit. Let's see what is happening. Control is coming here with user id, like it is for first one, so one user id is coming. Let me extend it, but you can see more. Okay, function F9 going inside. So each editable PV item is not available. What we had given the name, each editable item we given. Okay. Okay, let me update that. What is the name of that? Each editable PV item. No? What the name be given here is editable item. Control V. Let me reload the page function after application hard reload. I am removing this because every time it is not required. We had verified it already. Okay, so it was broken last time. I'm clicking in. Okay, it is loading. Get user details. Yes, call it. Call is still looking properly. The data is loading. The call is returning. Response is coming here right now. Okay, so it has been reached here and here. Okay, so the response came here. So let's continue. Now bind is happening. Continue. Okay, create array list is happening. Continue. Okay, the data is loaded. Click on edit button. Now this we need to debug. Function F9. Okay, you can see ID is what ID is created here. You can see edit row 1. Edit row 1. So if the row is 2, so it will be having a ID edit row 2 3 4 kind of, so that we can uniquely identify the row. Okay, and what the value is coming here, let me show you in a separate page. Okay, so that you would be understanding. See here, one image tag is coming. Okay, and we are when we are loading this attribute tr like row for this attribute. So let's see what is coming. See what is coming in this tr. See all the items available in this tr is coming here. Okay, so what tds are available in this tr, that we need to check. Function F9. So see whatever the tds are available, how many tds are available. See 6 tds are available here. Okay, so same way like we can understand and we can see that. So what we are doing, like we will be function F9 and all the tds are here. So we will be doing a loop, like first time when we are doing function F9. Putting a debugger here. Let's continue. td user id. Okay, so let's see what is coming here. First one is for, I think, yeah, see td user id. So has a class td user id. Yes, function F9, so it will go inside. is true now. False. So it is not true. This time is this true? True. Okay, so this is for package ID. Function F9 going inside, continue. Okay, so what is doing, like this TD is getting replaced. Okay, getting replaced by this TD. Okay, so this TD has only the TD things, but this TD has TD as well as the input text box. This input text box. Okay, sorry. So this input text box is there. Okay, so this input text box will get available in this particular TD place. So let me continue this. Same will be implemented like for first name and last name. Like all the TD will get replaced with the text boxes. Okay, so that text box will get available inside that TD. And continue. Okay. I think it came below. See, like firstly it was a TD in this type of, it was TD inside the table. Okay, so what we did, we replaced that TD with the text boxes. So all the text boxes are same way. Like if you have any drop down, and if you have any multi-check drop downs, or if you have any radio buttons, so you can also place that radio button or drop down list inside that uh, in place of like that text boxes, and that radio button will get available here. Okay, so this way we have implemented. So what currently it is available for editing, so like you can put here Subham in place of Subham Sharma. You can put anything like 123 GH 654334. Okay, so you can update here, and when you are clicking here in save, you can also see like this images are also replaced, so that we also put here in the code. Like the edit and delete images are getting replaced by this save and cancel images. Okay, so further we need to implement the functionality for this save and this cancel. So like if user is clicking on save button, what should happen, and if user is clicking on delete button, what should happen. Okay, so currently I'm stopping this. We have implemented edit functionality and delete functionality we also need to show you know. Okay, so like this way, like if we wanted a one geometry to be deleted, we will click this delete and we will get delete. You can see 1 by 4 is deleted, 1 by 1 is deleted, 1 by 2 is deleted. So this way delete is working properly. Okay, main is edit one, delete is simply just we are removing the record from the global array and binding the table again. Okay, so you got to edit pb item and delete pb item. So this you can see that for td image also we are replacing those td images with the save image and with the cancel image. Okay, and we are calling on clicking on that particular save and cancel, we are calling cancel pb item method, and we are calling save pb item method. Okay, so let me implement save pb item and cancel pb item method. So we have this cancel pb item method, and we have this save pb item method. Control C. Okay, afterwards delete pb item, we are putting cancel pb item and so in case of cancel pb item, we are each editable pb item variable we are making false, so that it can again be available for editing. Okay, so we make it false so that user can edit the table data again. And we are again reloading, like we are binding the table again, so that whatever the data available in global array, that get binded into the table again, and the editing mode will get cancelled. Okay, so this is the functionality which can cancel PV item. And in a save PV item, what we did, I already told you, we had replaced all the TD with the respective text boxes. Okay, so text boxes name are all also in the same way. Like if the last name is there, you can see the text box name. I put here txt last name. Okay, for package ID, we put the text box name txt first for the first name, txt package ID for the package name. The same way, what if user is updated some value in the text box and is clicking on like save pv item, like save button, so this method will get called. And what is this method is doing, we are reading the text boxes value. You can see here, these all are the text boxes, and we are binding the text boxes value into the variables, and we are getting a user id here. So we are finding the, this is global array. Okay, global array list, which is further getting binded with the data table. So we are finding the record in the global array. Here is, we are finding the index of a global array record, and in that index we are updating the field based upon the text boxes input. Okay, so once it's successfully updated, we are again binding the, we are calling the bind employee details method, and we are binding the data with the global array list. Once we are updating the record in the global array list, and then we are binding the record using the global array list. So like earlier it was a 123, and user have updated user ID, updated package id is 1234. So we will be reading that 1234 value from the text boxes. Okay, and we are finding the row index of a particular record in the array list, and based upon that index we are updating the array for that package id. So the value for package id, whatever user had updated, that will be placed in this global array. Okay, and we are once it gets updated successfully, we are binding this array list with the data table. Okay, so updated record will get displayed into the data table, and global array will also get updated because we are updating here. You can see, if we are updating array anywhere in the like application, in the method, anywhere in the like method or somewhere, so it will automatically, global array means it is available throughout the page or throughout the application to get it updated and to get it accessible. Okay, so we will be updating, so all the records will get automatically updated in this array. And once we are binding this array with the bind employee details, we are calling the bind employee details. So you know, bind employee details is basically binding the data. You can see here it was the earlier method. Bind employee details is taking a list of array and binding the data with the table. So once it is binding the data successfully, so all the updated record will get displayed. Okay, so we placed two more methods, save pv item and cancel pv item. So let's see, like after clicking on the save, whether it is saving or not. I know video is getting longer, but I tried to get it, like make it shorter. That's why already I was ready with the content. I already had implemented the things in my test application, so that it, it can be like easily implemented in the our current MVC application, and so and we can show you quickly. Okay, so now edit functionality was working in last work. See, edit is working properly. Last time we were not able to save, so in this time let's see F9 what is happening in function F12. Okay, so what is happening if any user is updating and clicking on the delete PB item, save PB item is here and cancel PB item is here. So I'm splitting this page so that I can show you properly. So like if user is updating something, like I have updated Subham 12345, okay, and package ID 126126. Let's see what is happening on clicking on save button. So this functionality bit coming with the user ID. So like we are getting the user ID function F9. We are reading the values from the text boxes. So you can see user ID is updated. User ID value is updated to 1. Package ID 126 be put, and the first name we put Subham 12345. You can see also here 126 12345 I have updated, so that we are getting here. Okay, and we are getting 126, and the mobile number is ss@gmail.com 98765 98765. Okay, so we are getting the record, and we are also getting the index of global array for this record here function. And what is the index for this record is? So see what the index is coming, definitely zeroth index. So you can see it is the first record, so that we are getting the zeroth index. Okay, so we are updating global array in zeroth index for this particular field function F9. So all the fields have been updated. Okay, now the bind employee details method is called, and you can see the latest data will get updated in the table once we are continuing. Okay, so let me continue it. See, so 1234 126 is updated, and 98765 means data is updating properly. Okay, so means our edit functionality is working properly. Okay, so in case like I'm putting this edit, all things are coming editable mode. Okay, now I don't want to edit it. I don't want to save anything. I made some changes, like I put here instead of this thing. Okay, instead of this I put here in this thing, but I don't want to save it, I want to cancel it. Then I will clicking on this particular cancel button, and it will call our cancel PV item, which is actually again binding the global array without updated, so the old record will get appear here. See, if you see the same, like bind apply data method is getting called with the existing record, so it would not update anything. So if I continue this, see, nothing gets updated, we are getting the older records. Okay, so both thing is updated, both thing is implemented now. Okay, so edit functionality is working. You can put here anything, 1234. You can put you can put anything. You can put anything. Click on save, and it will get saved. If you wanted to delete, you can click here. It is deleted. 104. You want to delete, deleted. You want to update Gaurav. Click on this Gaurav. Manish, you can put. Okay, Manish Sukla. You want to save? Save. Manish Sukla is saved. Okay, you are not want this Manish Sukla, delete it. You can also see a record number is also decreasing if you're deleting something. If I'm deleting this, 9 entries are remaining. Okay, this is actually user ID, so don't be confused. Okay, if I'm deleting this, it is deleted. So 8 items are remaining. If you wanted to search something like 7865, Control C, put here Control V, 7865. So basically, we have implemented the functionality for our data table. Okay, and it is working properly. So same way, like you can also try in your implementation. So please try at your end, and if you face any challenges or any issue, so you can like email me, or you can put that issue in the chat, and I will definitely reply you on that. If you want any code, or if you want any repository details, so just tell me. I will provide you the Git repository details, so you can like fetch the record or fetch the files from there, and you can implement in your table as well. Okay, just like this and share the video. Thank you so much for the watching. We will be see you on the next video with the new functionality. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the watching.